I have a CC100X. A couple things have been upgraded. Of course, the 212, it is a HEMI as an exhaust. We're gonna replace it for another 212. So when I purchased it, I realized that, damn, I got the non-HEMI. Inside the box, there was a HEMI. We're not gonna go with an initial clutch. We're gonna go with a torque converter. I've had real good luck with these things in the past. The next thing to attempt is going to be eliminating the governor. The engine was a 212. I've messed with the carburetor a couple times. I've got it to work, runs. The only thing is that it's limited. I've upgraded the brakes and the throttle. So throttle and brakes, which the throttle is used, so it didn't cost much. The brake didn't cost much. I could put a link if y'all like where y'all can get these parts. The Pit Pro Racing exhaust is going to be used on this other build. We want to route the exhaust the exact same way, so that way we don't have any issues. The only extra thing on this bike that's gonna offset the engine is going to be the torque converter. So I've done this in the past, unfortunately not with a HEMI engine. Now the gas tank is bigger on the HEMI. It's not a problem, but since the torque converter is gonna get installed, there's not much space between the cap and the frame. At the bottom, it's gonna need an adapter. If I don't use an adapter, this thing's gonna hit. Now, torque converter is kind of bulky. It would hit around this area. So I need to go forward 3 inches. I think I could get away with like 2.5. This thing doesn't have much of a push. It's literally just half an inch forward. Actually 1 inch forward, and that's it. That's its full capacity. So what I'm gonna do to get over this hump is I'm gonna make an adapter plate for the bottom, which is gonna be made out of cheap stuff. It's gonna get pushed up and then out. So pushed up and forward, this thing's gonna be out of the way. The gas tank's gonna go up a bit. Now, the measurements on that, the tank to the top is max 2 inches. This is max 1 inch. Going forward is where I think I'm gonna have the difficulty of, I think I'm going to have to remove these things, if not cut them up. But as soon as I cut them up, this is gonna be exposed. This is gonna flap down. It might cut, or I could just tack this down or cut it all the way to this weld. Whatever I decide on doing on the next part, it is what it is. Let's move forward. Yep, super clean. Ran it for a couple seconds. Gas tank, exhaust, cover piece for the filter. I didn't have to take these 2 things apart, but might as well go ahead. We're basically ready. All the fluids are out. Oil sensor plug. Once I tapped that, I went ahead and put some Honda Bond, both areas. Honda Bond. This one's exaggerated, but I don't want to leak. Ready to put the cover on. This thing is done. Covers back on. I'm gonna put the air filter back on. A lot of people do the upgrade. I have the upgrade, I just don't want to put it on. Things lined up. Everything's welded. Just need a coat of paint. So this thing is complete. It's really hard to put gas. The cover for the torque converter is not on. It's over here on the side. I'll get it in a minute. So I did have to cut. I moved it back to the next piece that was welded. That's that. Torque converter. The piece at the bottom is welded. It's pushed forward. It's a little flimsy, so I had to add another reinforcement piece right here. I'll take it apart, sand it down, and paint it. I don't think I'll paint the whole bike, but here she is. It fires up. I'll go ahead and do that right now. It's a little loud. I gotta adjust it a little bit. It's too torquey, so this bitch wants to flip over right away. But give me a second, let me turn it on.